Well, friends of Mundo Maldini, I want to make this video before we focus on the Champions League. With today's matches, with the preview of Madrid City, I will be at the Bernabeu tomorrow to comment on that match on Movistar. We have many things about Madrid City, of course, but it's a concerning topic. You already know that here. And it's something you can verify. We are not constantly on Mundo Maldini here on your channel talking about referees all day, all the time. 700 videos about refereeing, conspiracies, or anything like that. We don't do that. We neither do it, nor are we going to do it, nor will we ever do it. But we do talk about controversial plays, logically, because they are part of football. They are have been part of, and will be part of football. Controversy is inherent to football. I have here the complete collection of Don Balón. I have it all here since 1975, and I can guarantee that any magazine I pick from any league match day will show suspicions about the referees, because that's how we are here, and there will be controversy, because controversy is part of football, and it's normal. So we analyze the controversial plays in the post-match videos, like I did yesterday with Barça Rayo, like I did with the latest Atletico de Madrid matches. We always do it, and we will continue to do so. When we get together in the things are being done very poorly, they are being done very poorly, and certainly not as it was intended or for what this was really invented. I'll tell you, when Barça established it in Spain, it was established earlier in Germany, I remember. We had a series of meetings, several journalists, television commentators, radio, etc. First, with the officials in Spain, and then with the officials with Rossetti. I remember perfectly a hotel in Madrid from UEFA, and they were going to explain to us, because it was a new tool that was going to change football, which obviously I am very pro VAR when used well. I say again, and they told us two things, and this is very important. They told us two things. One, VAR is not here to re-referee matches permanently. It's not here for that. And two, VAR is here for flagrant situations, for tremendous errors, because referees are human and they can make mistakes. And in fact, they do make mistakes, like everyone in life, in any aspect. Well, the reality right now is that neither one thing nor the other is being done. The exact opposite is being done. The exact opposite is being done. Matches are being re-refereed permanently, and it is being used for practically any play now. For any play, and that is, in my opinion, a catastrophic mistake for many reasons. Because if you use VAR, there are 1,000 examples. The other day I was at the Leganés match watching the game, and it was terrible. I mean, the penalties they call, 10 minutes of stoppage time in each match. I mean, the VAR from Veracruz was introduced for plays that are glaring errors by the referee. A red card, an aggression, a very harsh tackle. A very clear handball, a goal that goes in and is not given, or vice versa. For that, yes. But of course, I have seriously heard people asking why VAR isn't applied to corners as well, because many times corners are plays that can end in a goal. And I think, well, then let's also do it for throw-ins, right? I mean, the game can't be stopped permanently. So what's happening? Now, I'll talk about some more specific details. What's happening is that the nature of the game is ultimately being lost. The nature of the game is being lost because everything, or practically everything, is being reviewed. So what happens? That everything starts to be reviewed. So since everything is being reviewed, you start to say, no, but this play wasn't reviewed, this play. So it ends up in the absurd situation where in a match, 5 possible penalties are reviewed, each taking 2 minutes, and 3 end up being called, because when the referee goes to the VAR, it's really like going to the guillotine, practically. I mean, it's very difficult to see. That's why matches are being re-refereed, because right there, the feeling is that the VAR referee is more important than the on-field referee, even though the on-field referee has to make the final decision. But it's really strange that when the on-field referee, the real referee, whom we've always known as the referee, goes to review a play on the VAR, their opinion doesn't change. It's practically impossible. That is to say, matches are being re-refereed. In the end, what happens with this? The nature of the game is being lost because any detail, as I told you in a video we made 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's very dangerous to have 5 screens and 18 cameras for those in the VR room who want to control everything. So since they want to control everything, they focus on even the smallest detail, and in the end, technology ends up refereeing it. You saw it ends up being refereed with the photo. Technology ends up refereeing and not common sense. The nature of the game is being lost. That's the truth. Really, I mean, logically, as lately, besides that, it's just that first, it's very difficult to referee. The players do nothing to help the referees because what Borja Iglesias did the other day with that little stomp is a scandal. It's a play. Well, the usual, they know that since refereeing is being done with photos and technology, the slightest detail you know can be a penalty. So you dive to force a VAR review and it ends up being a penalty. The penalty awarded to Kelta the other day was a scandal. A scandal. Going against the nature of the game, just as I think it's a scandal, truly, and I say it again, and many of you don't agree, that this penalty was awarded to Madrid, I think it's a scandal. I think it's a scandal that this penalty was awarded because it's a play that goes against the nature of the game. The ball has already passed. Chouameni touches it back, pulls his foot back, and ends up stepping on Lino. Just as I think it's a scandal that this penalty was awarded. Returning to the penalty, how can they award this penalty? But this penalty completely goes against the nature of the game. Against the nature of the game, I mean, Camavinga is stepping on him. But what Camavinga is doing is trying to play a ball that Budimir is about to finish, and then he ends up stepping on him as a result of the play itself. And reading some comments here on your channel, here on Mundo Maldini, someone told me, well, but if he breaks his tibia or breaks his knee, of course, if he breaks his knee, it's because Camavinga isn't entering like that. So if he breaks his knee, what he's doing is not playing. It's not a pure football action. What he's doing is raising the studs and potentially causing harm. Then it would be a red card. Of course, it would be a red card and a penalty. But the thing is, let's see. These are completely different cases. And I know that many of you support one team or another, and you won't end up understanding it. But, well, that's how it is. I think this has a difficult solution, honestly difficult, because referees have always been protagonists, and now they are even more so. The VR is being used worse and worse. And of course, since we are always focused on whether a play was called 4 weeks ago, whether it was called or not, as everything or practically everything is being re-refereed, since the players don't contribute either to making refereeing simpler, because we are seeing it every day. The case of Borja Iglesias, who I really like a lot. I think he's amazing. But certainly what he did the other day, well, he's looking out for himself. I understand. He's looking out for himself. He's trying to exploit what is a weakness of the system because it is a weakness of the system, honestly. So I see it as very difficult, a very complicated solution. Friends of Mundo Maldini, I think we should stop using VAR as much as it is being used in almost every play and clear all this up and start almost from scratch, using it only in blatant plays. And that's it. I think it's the only way. It's the only way to solve all this. In the end, refereeing is increasingly being questioned every day. No one believes anything anymore. In short, it's becoming a disaster above all against football. I mean, that's how it is, or they are. Rather, reinventing football, they are reinventing the game, and that's something that should never happen, not losing the nature of the game. That's what I believe. Many of you may not agree. Many of you might be thinking, no. But that penalty, of course, because 5 matches ago, they called a penalty. Well, I wanted to make this video, but I know I'm not going to comment to anyone. A hug. We'll be back with the champions. Bye.